Hi guys, welcome back to the Anatomy of an Abstract Part 2. In this painting video, I'll be showing you the second half of creating this abstract sketchbook doodle and some more supplies that I use when making abstract and mixed media paintings. So let's get started. This Faber-Castell Pitt marker is useful when adding white to areas that are darker because it lays down a pretty opaque amount of white pigment. It's not as potent as the gel pen, but it is still pretty useful. These last few materials I didn't really use in this piece, but they're really cool to keep in mind for future projects. This calligraphy pen, I haven't really used it that much, but I really wanted to be able to try the calligraphy style writing, so it's good to keep in mind. And I really should have sharpened this one beforehand, but this is a charcoal pencil. It's another one that's really great for adding that nice dusty charcoaly texture to a drawing. I love this Dr. P.H. Martin's Black Star India ink. Pretty much any India ink, especially the Speedball brand, makes a really lovely India ink. This one's supposed to be matte, but they're both pretty much the same, but it's great for doing lots of line work and with a brush or with a fountain pen. These Bistro chalk markers are fun too. They're not the best colors, like I don't always find myself reaching for them, but they do go on very opaque, much like the gel pen, and they cover a lot of surfaces. They don't really smudge as much like a regular piece of chalk though. And these Posca or Posca markers are also really good for just general marker purposes. They lay down pigment as opposed to like a magic marker, so they're good for covering stuff too. This DecoColor marker is amazing. It's like writing in liquid metal. It's so cool and it really puts down a lot of pigment. It does smell a lot and it does bleed through pages a lot. These Derwent Graphik markers are fun too, but they clog up insanely easily, so you have to be really careful when you're using them. They do put down paint, so they are again something that will be really good for layering. And I love these Prismacolor Col-Erase Pencil Crayons. They have nice sharp lead, so they're good for doing fine detail work in paintings, and they're also really good for just adding little bursts of color other places. And they are erasable. This is a recent acquisition and it's one of my favorite things. The Fine-Tec gold paint palette is so beautiful. You have to really sort of massage the wet brush into the pan to get some payoff, but once you do, the paint goes on really nice and it's very shiny and really fun to use. And here's another great tool, a Halftone Stencil. I honestly don't know where I found the paper one from. I've had it since high school, but the plastic one I ordered off of Amazon. And spatulas and palette knives are really useful too. This one is by Catalyst and it's silicone, so it's softer and more flexible. It's important in your paintings to take a step back sometimes, and for me that often means removing the tape before the painting is fully finished. Even if that means I have to reapply the tape again so I can go ahead and finish stuff, it's good to take a step back and just see how it'll look once it's completed, just to know how much more you need to add or what's working and what's not working. Especially when you have stuff that goes over the edges like this. And for the blue tape, it really does kind of affect how the composition looks because it's such a strong color. So I thought I would add a final little fun touch, and that is glitter. I love shiny things, and sometimes glitter has a bad rap. You know, it's a kid's craft supply, but there shouldn't really be any rule. If you can make it work, go for it. So here I decided to just do a little accent on this word thud. With a tiny brush, I put on some of that gloss medium that I talked about in the first half of this video. And then I added in some shiny, shiny gold glitter. So now that I've applied all the gloss medium, I'm going to add the glitter. And I like to just tap it gently over the area where the glue was applied. And then I gave it a good 15 to 20 minutes to just let it all dry. And then I came back and tapped all the excess off. I don't like to waste the glitter, so once it all dried, I tapped it off onto a spare sheet of printer paper and then I poured that into the pot back again so that I could use it for next time. And then I went back in with a paintbrush to just dust off those final little flakes of glitter. So you can see, I saved a lot of glitter there. So here is what it looks like without the glitter all piled up on it, and I think it just needs a little bit of outlining on that word, thud, because it's sort of blended together. And I'm trying to use this graphic line marker to just give a bit more definition to it. The marker was having a little bit of flow issues, so it didn't go perfectly and I had to swap it out for a different one, same type of marker. So it sort of looks like it's easier to read now, but it's still hard to see that it says thud. but that's okay. And then I just like to throw on the date in light pencil on the bottom just so that I know when I made them. And that's the anatomy of an abstract in my mind, so here's the finished product. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It's one of my favorites that I've done recently, actually. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you have any other materials that you like to use for abstract paintings, I'd love to hear about them. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!